Good morning, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang. This is Dion here. Early morning, it's about 8 a.m. where I am in Arizona. Back with another video to talk about some of the off-season things we got going on. So, first off, definitely hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. So I gave y'all a video about the running backs, gave y'all a video about the QBs. So now we're moving on. Time to jump over to the wide receivers. So with that being said, let's get right on into it, man. So the 2020 receivers that we currently have, and I'm not naming receivers that just exist. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I'm only going to name receivers that actually mean something. So we got Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, Kendrick Bourne, Marquise Goodwin, Richie James, Dante Pettis, and Deebo Samuel. So, Trent Taylor's on this rookie deal. Career numbers, basically, 2017 he played about 15 games, 430 yards, 43 receptions, 2 TDs, about 10 yards per catch. 2018, 26 catches, 215 yards, 8.3 yards per catch, 1 TD, and he played 14 games. Missed all of 2019 due to injuries, fractured metatarsal, which was botched when they did it. Then they had to redo it again. Then 2018, he battled back from back issues. So here's the thing with Trent Taylor. What I will tell you about Trent Taylor is he is a dynamic slot receiver. This dude is a bad man. So you can definitely see that. You know what I mean? And I can say that because I've seen him play several times over. So you got to respect him, man. You got to respect what he does and how he does it. One thing I will say, though, is that health has been an issue. And with the team, we need you to be healthy. You got to be out there on the field producing. So it's going to be kind of hard for you to produce if you're standing on the sidelines and you're not getting anything done. So with Trent Taylor, we're hoping that he comes back from this injury. It's fully healed. It's fully healthy. He's ready to go for training camp at a bare minimum, if not OTAs. So if he's on the field, him and Jimmy have a great chemistry, and yes, it'd be awesome to see them play together because Trent Taylor is a very dynamic player. He's a quick twitch guy, and we just have to hope and pray that the foot injury and the back injury aren't lingering and nagging issues, and it doesn't put him in a bad position. So next up on the list, we got Richie James Jr. Now, Richie is our punt returner, kick returner guy. And he won that job because he was better than anybody else at it. And at the same time, I think it was going to really be a battle between him, Trent, and Dante Pettis. But the thing is, Pettis failed on that one. Trent wound up getting injured. So it kind of went to Richie by default. But at the same time, Richie's still a very dynamic returner. You can't be mad at him for that. So with that being said, Richie's only got 6 catches for 165 yards, 27.5 yards per catch, 1 TD, and he's got 106 yards after the catch. So you got to think about it. That means he basically has only 61 yards where you catch and stop him. Other than that, you get him to a point where he has at least, he's great after the catch. His yak is awesome. But you got to take your time with a guy like Richie James, and at the same time, you got to give him a chance to be incorporated into the system. The frustrating thing about it is that they don't incorporate Richie enough. They continually give him a situation where he's just a return guy. He doesn't really get any playing time. And I think if you put him on the field, man, the guy can be a great guy. He can really produce. But we just never have. You know what I mean? So, with Richie, he had 428 kick return yards this year, 21.4 yards per return. His longest return was 81 yards. We all remember that. Punt returning is 264 yards, 8.0 yards per return, and his longest return was about 32 yards. So he does good in the return game, but I think he can be more effective in the passing game if we give him a chance. So we got to do that for us to be able to see what else can go on. Next up, we got a man that we all would like to see, and we were banking on seeing, and that's Jalen Hurd. Jalen Hurd in the preseason looked great. Monster game versus Denver. Definitely, a little bit taller than Deebo, has the height to go up and get it, switch from running back to wide receiver in his senior year at Baylor. His potential is limitless, but back injuries have stopped him from playing all of 2019. You know what I'm saying? It's a waiting game to see if he's ready to go for OTAs or training camp. So all we have on Jalen Hurd is college tape and, unfortunately, a couple preseason games. We know what he did when he played against the Cowboys. We know what he did when we played against Denver. And we love his potential, but potential isn't enough. Like, we're going to need you to actually be there. We're going to need you to actually produce. And we'll need you to actually make some plays for us so that we can know that we invested a good, you know, third-round pick in him. Other than that, it becomes a waste. So we have to wait and see if he's going to even be ready for training camp. There was a rumor on a possibility that he might not be, that he might be retiring because of his back issue. I'm going to say that the rumor isn't true because there's been nothing truthfully reported about it by us. But one thing I can tell you is that back issues do linger. Messed my back up when I was a kid, man. Landed a small on my back on the edge of a desk, man. I was paralyzed for a couple hours, and that shit still hurts every now and then, man. But the thing is that if it's a back issue that keeps you out and you know you play a sport where there's constant contact, then football definitely ain't the sport for you. So let's hope and pray that that isn't the issue and that everything works out and that he's good. But we definitely know what Trent Taylor can bring to the table. We've seen how he runs. It'd be like having a taller Debo on the field, yes, because Trent Taylor runs with force, and he was a former running back. I think he was playing in Tennessee and splitting time with Alvin Kamara, if I'm not mistaken. So we know he's got the skills. It's just, can he get on the field to prove it to us and show us? So next up, we got the man that I love, man, Kendrick Bourne, Mr. I dance every day and I smile all the time. We hate the fact when he drops the ball, but we love the fact when he catches the ball. And you love him in the red zone because you know he's money every time he's in the red zone. KB, 30 catches, 358 yards, 11.9 yards per catch, 5 TDs, and 116 yards after the catch. That's one thing that is a little low about KB is his yak. But that's because a lot of the times when KB is catching the ball, they're putting him in a position to get a first down or something to that effect. You've never really gotten a chance to see him take off and fly, but he's still a viable receiver. And like I said, he's a great red zone threat. He played 9 games, 38, let's see. Yeah, he did. He played about 9 games. So the thing is, he did what he could, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't really a target in the playoffs pretty much at all because we ran the ball and we were doing so great until we got to the Super Bowl and decided we didn't want to run the ball no more. And now we out here trying to throw the ball all day with Jimmy. That's not what was making us win. But at the end of the day, KB is a free agent. And it's unfortunate because I don't want him to leave or go anywhere else because I feel like he's a great receiver and I feel like we can continue to use him. He's very dynamic and, you know, he's a taller receiver and he's well worth every penny. I mean, I think that, you know, having him and, you know, Jalen Hurd and Deebo Samuel would make a great trio. So, hopefully they go ahead and they re-sign him. I know that Shanahan loves him to death. He thinks that he's, you know, one of the greatest receivers and he's got some great hands. So I hope that we can definitely make sure we get him back. KB is definitely well worth every penny. Then we move on. We got Dante Pettis. He's still on his rookie deal. We got 1 more year. And then after that year, basically Pettis will wind up in a situation where he can walk. You know, he'll probably be a restricted free agent maybe, but he can still, you know, he can walk. We don't need him. There's no point in cutting him this year, unfortunately, because his salary is all but guaranteed. We're only going to save like 40, 50 grand if we cut him, so you might as well keep him, I guess. You know, he probably ain't get no PT, you know, unless Hurd just can't come back. But he did play 11 games, 11 catches, 109 yards, 9.9 yards per catch. He had 2 TDs and 23 yards after the catch. So, you know, most of his yards came. The 2 touchdowns, one against Tampa Bay and the other against Arizona. The one against Arizona, he was wide the fuck open, so there was no way for him to miss that. And then the one in Tampa Bay, he did make a little bit of a play on that one. You know, had the nerve to come out and say, you know, I know y'all haters, you know, didn't like that. And it's like, we want you to win. That's the whole point, Dante. If you ever watch this video in your life, We want you to win. It's just we want you to go from a little purring kitty cat to a roaring fucking lion. Come on, man. You got to get some fucking dog in you, man. You got to get some fight in you. That's the whole point. That's the reason why everybody has been shooting on you, brother. You just seem like a chump. And that's why they call you out. You know what I'm saying? They told you in the offseason you got to beef up. They tell you, you know what I'm saying, there's certain things that you got to do. But you ain't even making that happen. So don't be mad at nobody when they call you out about stuff. It's the truth, dog. You got to get out there and make things better for yourself and show the people and show these coaches that you deserve some damn playing time. Because you seem to be very comfortable and happy sitting on the sidelines, not doing a goddamn thing. And that's not good. You should be wanting to fight, man. You should be saying, Coach, let me get out there on special teams. Let me do this. Let me do that. Coach, I deserve another chance. Get out there and practice and show them something. But don't sit up there and just be cool with being, you know, the nobody on the squad. That's not good. That's bad for your career. If you really in this and you really think the football is what you're going to do and you're going to make money off it and you're going to make a living, then shit, you better get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And then the next one, they got Deebo motherfucking Samuel. That's the baddest receiver we done had all year, man. Deebo played 15 games, 57 catches, 802 yards. Now, the issue with Deebo in the beginning of the season and throughout it was drops, and he did have 2 fumbles. I believe he fixes those issues, and he progresses and gets better. This second-year jump, man, is going to be crazy. Y'all mark my words. Deebo finna be out there breaking ankles and hurting people and doing all kinds of things, man. He even got the stamp from Tiny Lister Jr. himself, the real Deebo. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, Deebo's a character from Friday. Basically, Deebo just punked everybody, you know. But at the end of the day, Deebo was like our most dynamic receiver. You know, Deebo had 14 carries for 159 yards, 11.4 yards per rush. That's ridiculous. 11.4 yards? You know what I'm saying? He had 3 rushing TDs. He had 3 receiving TDs. I mean, 14.1 yards per catch. Like, this dude is full-on dynamic. He's great in every which way you can think of. In the playoffs, rushing at 6 carries for 102 yards, averaging 17 yards per carry. His longest run was 32 yards. If we'd have kept running him on that damn end around in the Super Bowl, there would have been nothing they would have been able to do. We'd have controlled the clock and we'd have won. But, you know, gotta let that go. And then 10 catches, 427 yards, 12.7 yards per catch. His longest catch was 30 yards. So, like, it shows you what this dude can do and how beautiful he can be, man. So, those are our receivers. I'm going to tell you right now, going into next season, the only people we actually have under contract are Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, Richie James, Dante Pettis, and Deebo Samuel, and Marquise Goodwin. Kendrick Bourne is technically a free agent. I'll give y'all another video, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think we cut Keese to be able to save some money, and probably going to give that money over to KB if we do want to go ahead and spend any bread. But there's a few other things. As far as our receivers go, going into 2020, I feel like we're doing all right. But we are going to need at least add another piece because I am worried about Jalen Hurd. If those back issues continue to linger, we're screwed. And it'll be a waste of a 3rd-round pick, and it's going to be a situation where we have to make sure that we find a way to get some kind of return for his services, or at least something, you know, another receiver, somebody that says, hey, I'm going to go out here and do this and show y'all what Jalen Hurd didn't get a chance to show y'all. And it's nothing against the guy as a man or a human being, but you got to produce. You got to do what you got to do. So, honestly, I'll tell you right now, if healthy, I think our starting receivers, honestly, will wind up being Kendrick Bourne and Deebo Samuel with Trent Taylor in the slot. And then after that, you'll probably have Richie and Dante. But we shall see. But that's it for me right now. 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang. I know y'all hear all the noise in the background. That's just a trash truck. But either way, y'all stay faithful, y'all stay blessed. I'll be back with another video in just a moment.